Hi Libra, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. Libra, this is going to be a mid-month October 2024 general reading for you. And in today's reading, we're going to be looking at, we're going to be doing a check-in actually. And we're going to start off by looking at what pattern is coming up, what's showing up in your life for healing. And it's a pattern you're probably aware of. It's coming up again, and you're wondering, why is it showing up again? And but this time we're going to look at, what's having the most impact on this, or what's driving this pattern. And it's something that's coming up from your shadow to heal, and that's what's driving this pattern again. And so we're going to be doing some shadow work in part 2. And if you are unfamiliar with the term shadow or shadow work, I've left a really good video for you in the description box below. It's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work. And it's a video that's all about healing your own, facing your own shadow. And it's something I put together on my own, on my other channel called Carol Cares. And it's based on the intensive healing journey that I've been on for the last 7.5 years to face my own complex trauma and my shadow that I didn't know I had actually. So, and then in part 3, we're going to be looking at some advice from the tarot and as to, how am I going to begin to heal this pattern that's showing up in my life right now. And it's just going to be some beginning advice, because I'm not here to provide you with, anything magical that's going to cure this right away. But I will give you some really good advice as to where you can begin to start to heal this. And then I will also provide you with a couple playlists probably that are taken from Carol Cares, my other channel. And those will really help you with some specific videos on how to begin to heal this. I think that are very helpful for you. And so we're going to be using the Curious Travels Tarot deck right here to get started. And then I'm going to pull some cards from the Tarot Grand Lux to clarify. And I do want to say to you that I am also offering personal readings, especially if this resonates with you and you think that, you'd like a bit more focus on what you're going through. I would recommend, a personal reading from me. It's a great way I look at this as a healing tool, healing channel for sure. And so you'll find the link to my personal readings in the description box and also in my comment section below. And it'll take you to my carolcares.com website. And it'll take you to the Yellow Cardinal Tarot page. And there's about 6 or 7 readings there that you can choose from. All right, so let's begin. I'm excited to begin your reading, Libra. It's been a couple weeks since I've talked to you. So let's see what's going on with you. Let's see its patterns coming up for you. I'm going to ask for one card right here to show, for Libra, to show us what's coming up. And the Empress kind of came sideways. Here she is. She's showing up. She's a beautiful Empress from this deck. I really like this deck. It shuffles beautifully. And yeah. So, what aspect from your shadow? What aspect from your shadow was driving this or impacting the Empress? The Knight of Wands. It's a newer deck, and it's just taking me a bit. The wand is right. If you see the word Knight, there are a couple squiggly lines, and that's the wand. So I believe it was in reverse, the Knight of Wand here. And I have to look and see if it's a sword or a knight. What advice does the tarot have for you? One card, please. Oh, another knight. Interesting. This time it's the Knight of Swords. And then you get the 2 of Wands. The 2 of Wands. Okay, so put those away. And we're going to get some clarifiers here. So these are all pre-shuffled before I came on. I just take them and mess them all up in a pile. That's how I shuffle them. Saves my cards from getting all bent out of shape. All right, so let's do this Empress here. 2 or 3 cards, some clarification. Maybe a couple more here. One more. You can do it. There we go. Okay, so behind the Empress, you have the Temperance. You have the 3 of Cups in reverse. And you have the 3 of Coins, which is 3 of Pentacles here. The Knight of Wands. Can you give me 2 or 3 clarifiers for that? No more. Okay, so Emperor behind this Knight of Wands, the Sun, and the King of Wands in reverse. And this Knight of Swords and the 2 of Wands. 2 to 3 cards, please. Clarify. One more card. Yeah, those are, put those together so I remember. 1 or 2 more cards. Tight-lipped. I'm getting tired. Oh, I'm not sure I want 5 cards. Yeah. I think I want at least 1, not 5. So we'll see. It'll come out. There we go. There we go. Just needed to come out. Okay, so you got the 10 of Wands. And I love the Star card coming out behind the 10 of Wands. Beautiful. All right. So, Libra, what pattern are you sitting in right now? You have the Empress card, and the Empress is the second half of the feminine archetype in the major arcana. You have the High Priestess, number 2, and then you have number 3, the Empress, and the Empress is all about pure emotions. She's someone that the feminine part of us that, and we all have a feminine side and a masculine side, and it doesn't matter what gender you are. We have both, right? 50-50, doesn't matter, and nothing to do with your gender. Now this quality, this Empress, has everything to do with emotions. She lives in her body. She lives through her emotions. Every decision she makes, she's in her body and she feels her emotions and they guide her through life. And so this is really a call for to to start to feel your emotions, to start to get in touch with that feminine part of you. And so you can feel those emotions. And in order to feel the emotions, you have to be in your body. And I know when we feel stuff, we think it's coming from our head. And, you know, in order to really feel, in order to heal, you have to get in your body and you have to feel like this Empress does. She makes all her decisions from her body. And then right after that, to clarify, you have the Temperance here. And the Temperance card is a beautiful card that comes out. It's a major arcana card as well. And it comes out when it's a card about almost like, sometimes I want to say like middle ground, and sometimes I say it's a card of like sort of the art of the pause, the art of waiting. And I'm wondering if there is a part of you here that is feeling some impatience, feeling some real impatience. Maybe it's impatience about this journey you're on, this journey called life, and feeling like, you know, you've been doing this for so long and you're just almost like losing a bit of hope here, because there's this Three of Cups that comes up in reverse, and the Three of Cups speaks about these three feminine figures. And again, there's a real emphasis on the feminine side here that's coming out for you. And it's in reverse, and this talks about these three feminine figures here where they're celebrating their feminine creativity. Creativity, which is another feminine aspect, quality that we all have, is creativity. And I don't mean like creativity in the traditional sense, though it could be, but I'm talking about, you know, doing something for you, doing something completely different, and doing something where people would like turn their heads and go like, what the hell is that person doing? Like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? And so maybe there's something here that you're feeling this desperation or this need, or because I'm feeling, because the Temperance card comes out when it's like, whoa, like kind of like, you know, we need to slow down here. We need to get a little bit still here, right? And maybe we need to get into our bodies, because this is what this Empress card says, you know, it's time to get into your body, because that's where we need to feel. And oftentimes we can be driven by our ego, which is the masculine side of us, and really driven like, I want to do this now. You got to do this now. You know, this drive of just do it now, but you don't want it to come from up here. Whatever this creative expression that is wanting to come out of you right now, because it's kind of, it's in reverse here, so it's like it's not blocked, it's not ready. It's like, whoa, slow down here, because you don't want this to come from your mind. You want it to come from your inner self, your inner guidance, your intuition. You want it to be something that's intuitive here. And so there's some real pause that you're needing here, but I can feel there's kind of this push that wants to go forward, that, you know, but there's definitely some sort of creative new thing that's coming out here for you, and it's beautiful, and you might know what it is. Like, you're really thinking, I think I want to do this. I know it sounds crazy, but I want to do it. And then you've got this Three of Coins, which is it's a co-creation card, I call it. And but because this is a healing channel, it's a card of maybe getting some help with either this project, or a lot of times for me it means maybe getting some therapy, getting some help as to, you know, helping you decide if this is really an intuitive choice for you, this creative expression that wants to come out? Or is it like something that's kind of forcing you, like it's not intuitive, right? So just to help you with that, and oftentimes I say, like, if you are in therapy, sometimes it could mean, and when therapy, I mean, it could be, you know, getting some extra healing, like body work. You know, there's all kinds of things out there, Reiki or craniosacral or myofascial release. But I do say that if you do decide to do something like that, to make sure that you have a therapist that's going to guide you along, because that'll always bring up some things in you, right? And so I feel like there's really a creative expression coming out here for you, which is beautiful. But I'm wondering if, you know, like I said, there's some real need to get back into your body to find out if this creative expression, take some time here, some time's needed, you know, a bit of patience and maybe some help from a therapist to see, okay, what is this? What's coming up here? Is it an intuitive decision? Because we don't want to do something that's not intuitive. We want to do something that comes from here, not from our mind, from our intuition. This is something that is meant to be. And so, because sometimes we can have our ego self will fool us into going into this other direction to prevent you from going into the direction that you're meant to go in here. And so it'll say, well, let's go over here. Let me distract you by going over here, when really there's something else that's coming up for you. You know, that's a heck of a lot better and more you and more expressive and more creative. And so that's where the help you might need to kind of decipher and help you just slow it all down, maybe. And so, it's like a reflection period for you when you get some help in slowing it down. So what's coming up here that is really, I'm going to say, behind this kind of, because I'm feeling, like I said, what's coming up, and I can see what's coming up actually, sort of, but it's in your shadow. But, you know, you've got, like I said, you've got this real feminine, let's slow down here. Let's, you know, slow this all down here, because the Knight of Wands is coming up, which is kind of interesting. So right at the beginning of your shadow, you've got this part of you. And we all have this part. It's the part that's called my freedom fighter. And the freedom fighter is the one, especially the Knight of Wands here, is that part of you that wants freedom, basically to do what the hell you want to do. And it's that part of you that's kind of been chomping at the bit all your life, wanting to take your life. It's a wand, so it wants movement. It wants creative expression, you know, whether it's something you want to do for you, something different for you, and it's sitting right here in your shadow. So when you were younger, you had this part of you that wanted to do something, and maybe you know what it is, and maybe this is it coming up again. I don't know. And that's why you have to really be careful. It's like, is this what it is, you know? That wanted, it's you, it's your truth. This is what this is, this freedom. It wants freedom to be authentic, to be you, and to take your life into that new direction you want to go into, and to, you know, live that creative life that you're meant to live, and do what you want to do, and live the life you were meant to live, right? And I think you wanted to do that when you were younger, and that might have been sort of the spirit, that kind of person that you were when you were younger, because it comes out as that, you know, a real kind of free spirit kind of person here. But then you got the Emperor card that comes right behind it. And this explains that strong, I think there's something that where you need to really feel like, what is it that's kind of going, whoa, slow down, right? Because there's something that wants to drive you in this certain direction. Well, this Emperor card comes out when you were younger, and it's like a father-like figure. And this is the dude, and I call him a dude. Sometimes I call him Mr. Emperor to give him a little bit more respect, but he's the one that makes these bullshit imaginary rules that we had to follow when we were younger. Like, you can't do this, you're not supposed to do this. And so maybe there's something here that really people are going to look at you and go, well, she's not allowed to do that. She shouldn't be doing that. Or what's he doing? You know, whatever. It's like, because these are these imaginary societal rules that you were forced to follow when you were younger, and they're coming up. They're coming up right now, and they're going like, what do you mean? What are you doing? What do you mean you want to do this? You're not allowed to do this. Are you crazy? What are people going to say? What are people going to say? And that's what you were raised by. There was that masculine kind of, like I said, father-like kind of figure with these rules, you know, don't go out of this box. You're not allowed to. And so that just shot down, this emperor shot down any joy that you had of expressing who you were, right? It just didn't bring, the joy was just shot with the Sun card. And then you have the King of Wands. So you've got this heavy, heavy masculine energy sitting in your shadow. This, because you have the King of Wands, and the King is this the masculine part of us. You know, the Empress is feminine. Here's the masculine side of us. Here's your ego self. And this is the part that comes out and says, creativity, taking your life into the direction you want to be in. Are you kidding me? Like, you would have been told that's not going to make money. You know, doing something creative in what you love to do, and that's really you, and that's really an expression of you. Are you nuts? Like, that's crazy. You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. And so you're hearing all this in your head. So here you are wanting to express yourself. I can feel this feminine energy wanting to come out in this first row. But you're being almost, you're second guessing yourself, maybe with all these, what do you think? Well, you're crazy. What are you doing? You can't do this. And that's why I think they're suggesting here, maybe you need some therapy of some sort to try to help you sort this all out, right? And there is a real need for you to get back into your body, because that's where your inner guidance is as well. Like, we don't realize that we have this inner knowing, this inner guidance, these intuitive skills that we have, but we have to learn how to get back in our body and to really take some time to get still and feel like what it is. Is this what I'm really meant to do? You know? So it's interesting that you have, on one hand, you have like, get back in your body so you can get in touch with your intuitive skills. And then you've got, well, maybe therapy might help you out a bit as well to figure out, you know, let's slow it down here. Because you are having some real ego self coming out going, whoa, what are you doing? Like, stop, right? And so what's the advice here for you from the tarot? Well, you've got this Knight of Swords, and here's another Knight here. This time it's the Knight of Swords. And I do want to say before I get to this other Knight here, before I take a drink, I do want to say that when you have this Knight, and it's, like I said, it's a freedom fighter. And so everybody has this part, and it's like an adolescent part of us. And so when you have this Knight in you, and you are blocked, or you're told when you were younger that you're not allowed to do something, just think of a teenager that wanted to do something and was told no. You know, Mr. Emperor came out here and said, no, it's just, you're not going to do it. No excuse given. Just, you're not allowed to do this. You can't do this. You can imagine a teenager being told that, and how much anger there would be. And if they weren't allowed to express their anger, well, they definitely would feel very hopeless. And so I don't know if that's going to come out here, but you have another Knight here. And here's the Knight. So, excuse me. So the first card that came out, and it was clarified with the same deck. And you have the Knight of Swords here. So here's another one of your freedom fighters. And it's carrying that truth. It's carrying the truth of yours. It's the freedom to get back to your truth. And the universe really wants you to get back to your truth. Really who you were meant to be. You know? The truth of this. Of the freedom that you wanted. and here's this little Two of Wands here, and it's this stage of, when we're feeling the nudge to do something creative, when we're feeling that nudge to express ourselves in a creative way for ourselves. And then the universe wants to take you there, wants to really take you there, wants to give you the freedom so that you are in a position to take your life into that direction. And here's the nudge here. And so I think, there's two cards that are coming out here. Two beautiful cards. You have the Ten of Wands, and then you have the Star card. And the Ten of Wands is this individual. It's the completion of the Wands pip cards here. And it's the completion of the Wands here. And so there's been a cycle here that's come to a close. And I think you've realized now that you're committed to this journey that you're on right now. You're committed to this. Because this is somebody who is collecting all their wands. And they're collecting them all and they're ready to go somewhere else. I think you've been on this journey for a bit and you've realized you're trying to really get back to your truth and, and grab onto that freedom that you've been wanting all your life. And whether it's you need to get angry, and whether it's you need to deal with some of your hopelessness from not being able to do what it was that you wanted to do that was completely shut down, I can see. But I think there's some real need for you, and that was a call for therapy here. Maybe you've been thinking about that, to do some healing. And the Star card talks about this person getting very vulnerable, getting really, really naked with themselves, and starting to do that real tough work that we need to do to commit ourselves to this healing journey. This is the commitment card. Because I think, you've had enough of this, and I feel that you're really ready to. And so, whether you decide to go back into therapy, whether you decide to, I'm going to commit, I'm going. The universe wants you to commit yourself to this journey that you've really started here, because I think you're feeling the nudge here finally to just you know what? I'm going in this path. This is the path I'm going on now. And it could be something as simple, not simple, but something as, this is what I need to express right here at this first row. It was like something was coming out here. Now I can sort of see it. It's like there's something here that's just feeling like it's happening. There's something coming out here, and I don't know what it is, but I'm thinking it's these last two cards where you're kind of going, I'm committing myself to this. And when that happens, when you commit yourself to healing, where you decide, I'm healing, there are people that are going to look at you and go, what the hell are you doing? And that's a whole different topic. But it's like, that's what happens when you decide, you know what, I'm doing this. I want to do this. I want to heal for me. I want to see what there is for me in this healing journey. And I think you're committing yourself to it. So this is a beautiful reading for you. Very uplifting. And I'm going to suggest, I'm going to give you some videos on grounding. Just to, because you did start out with the Empress, but getting back into your body and start to ground. And then I'm going to give you your October reading that I did for you. But I want you to have compassion for yourself for this work you're doing. If you're still here listening to me, you're on this journey. And it's the most difficult journey of your life. But it's the most important one. And I feel like you're committed to your healing. And I think, the universe wants you to become committed to your healing as well. I think it's time. And so have compassion for yourself. And I will see you in November. Bye, Libra.